If we pay extra, could we maybe get some grease or fat?
So since it's still cooking, I guess we'll go ahead and get a late walk in. It's been a couple of days since I've had any exercise. This after Christmas era is always where I tend to get the I don't want to do nothing blues or something. I don't know what you call it, but it's like a recovery rest time that I'm used to doing every year. Once Christmas, it's like take a break till the end of the year and start over fresh. But, you know, I need to shake that up. I need to get back out there and go walk. So today I'm going out a little late. So here it is, December 29th, 2021. And I haven't been on a walk in a couple of days since, well, really since Christmas. So we'll say 4 days. I haven't done any real exercise. I've done a few push-ups here and there and a few pull-ups and some sit-ups and stuff like that, but not like a full workout, more like just going until I can stop. But I don't like breaking a routine once I get one started, at least a good one. Apparently I'm good at keeping bad routines started, like eating horrible food that I did most of my life. And a lot of you are facing the same thing where you're like, why do I keep eating this garbage? Why do I keep putting the same thing in my mouth? Or you're out there doing what I see a lot of, which is convincing yourself that you're not having that much. You know, it's so funny is that my oldest son is trying to eat better, and he's convinced himself that he's doing that by eating something good every once in a while. But when I go through the garbage, I don't normally go through the garbage, but I had to go through the garbage today because I was trying to separate out something that had wasn't supposed to be in there. And I'm sitting here thinking, because his grandmother's been around, so she's bought him food here and there, and I'm looking at like pizza crust and hamburger bread and all kind of stuff that's left over from the food, like ice cream, milkshakes, and I'm thinking, this is your idea of getting in shape? It's no wonder we never get in shape when we decide we need to get in shape. We decide that it's okay to have a little bit, and then a little bit more, and then a little bit more. It's like, no, you're at the max already. You're already there. You got to cut it all out, especially if you have an addiction problem, which I suspect most of us have addictions that we didn't know about. Now, I consider myself to be predisposed to certain addictions because I've been good at being addicted to things for some reason. And I've even weighed the question of whether or not addiction, you know, what does it really mean? Does it mean you can't quit something? I mean, I can't quit breathing, and I wouldn't want to try to quit breathing because I need it. I need it to stay alive. So I could say I'm addicted to breathing, and there's a chemical process there that requires me to be addicted to breathing. The problem is, I think, is when we play with the natural processes of things and make them more addictive and make them harder for us to resist. We're playing on prompts and keys in our own body that are designed to make us healthy, and then we're using those same chemical keys and cursors to let us know that what we're doing is good for us when it's actually bad for us. I mean, if you just take all the stuff that's on the label and the food you buy on the shelf that comes with a barcode on it, and just think about this wasn't in the human diet for thousands of years with all this garbage in it. And now it's a predominant amount of what many of us eat, especially in well-developed countries like the United States. And then you look around and you see 6 out of 10 people are overweight, when it used to be half that number. And you know, some of that's just going to be because people they naturally gain weight easier. You know, who knows what it is? I really don't know all of the answers about why there were more people in those times, because you still see cakes and cookies and stuff like that, but you don't see it in as much production as it is now. And our bodies are just designed to key in on all that garbage and realize, oh, this is a source of carbohydrates. This is a source of sustaining energy. This is what you need when you're living because, and you've got to get this every day. So if you're getting it, your body says, your brain actually has chemicals called dopamine that says, good job, you found food. Now keep doing this. And the garbage they're giving us is not sending the right message, because it's not a good job. We don't need super high energy dense food where they take out all the good stuff and leave only the carbohydrates, so that you're completely addicted to what about the food your brain responds to as opposed to what your body responds to. Well, this comes down to something that I've been really trying to wrap my brain around, is as I've been on this diet now for close to a year, I really start to feel like I'm in a separate category from most of the people that I see, because they're all still addicted to a drug. It's as if I was put into a asylum for addicts, and now that I have gotten off the negative addictions, I'm still in the same asylum with all these addicts, and it makes it very hard to avoid the things that you need to continue to avoid. But I'll tell you, having these groups on YouTube and Facebook, like World Carnivore Tribe and the Lion Diet Facebook page, it's very helpful. It's very helpful for you and for me to be able to keep going and doing the things that we know we need to be doing to be healthier. Why? Why do you need to be healthier? Your family needs you. Your country needs you. We need you. We need you to be the best you can be. We being everybody. We all want to be the best that we can be. If we had a whole group of people out there, a large mass of people out there being the best they could be, just think of what we could achieve. But right now, we've got masses of people out there that are striving to be the most relaxed they can be, that are striving to be the most satiated that can be, to striving to be the most pleased that we can be. And that's just gluttony. That's just wallowing in filth. And it's so easy for us to do because of the way we're wired. Our limbic system that responds to pleasures, it's hard to overcome. But I'm going to tell you, it can be overcome. And the one thing I can say is that eating only meat has been the only solution for me. It doesn't mean it's the only solution for you, but it's a good place to start. If you can tolerate the meat, let me turn around so I don't have the sun right on my face. I'm going to go ahead and start walking back. I'm at a mile. If you can tolerate starting out with meat only for a few days, go for a few weeks, you'll know. I mean, I did anyway. Now, I knew I was already, I like the idea of meat, but I didn't know about salt. As a matter of fact, I was convinced salt was bad for me in every way. And it can be bad for you if you mix it with enough sugar, or if you start mixing sugars and fats. But I had banned salt from my diet, and yet I was a horrible specimen of a person. And now I eat salt with everything. But for a while there, I'd convinced myself that I didn't like the taste of salt, that I couldn't eat salt, and it had to do with brainwashing. I'd been told that salt was bad for me. I'd been convinced that salt was bad for me. So I convinced myself I could live without salt, and that I should live without salt, and I did live without salt, and now I can't live without salt. So if I can overcome that, for those of you who say you're a bit squeamish about the idea of eating meat, I think you'll get over it when you start to realize your body responds to it because you were made to eat it. But that's my caveat. I think that. It doesn't necessarily mean it's true. But what I do know is all this processed food garbage we're eating is designed to do nothing but play on our limbic system and play on our dopamine responses and get us in a cycle of eating their garbage for profit. I'm not against profit, but I am against lying to people. And I feel like this is straight out lying. When they put on these boxes of cereal and whatnot, that this is a healthy food. That even the label that describes the food most of the time, the label that you see that says this is what you're buying, you know, like I made the example once before, green apple shampoo. I'm like, there's no green apples in this. Why in the world are they able to advertise this as green apple? Oh, it smells like green apple. And it doesn't even smell like a real green apple. It smells like the green apple bubble gum you used to get at T-Ball. So it's not even real. But so many times we see these descriptions of foods and we think, oh, well, that sounds healthy. But if you read the ingredients, there's nothing healthy about it. It's just a chemical concoction that's designed to give you carbohydrates and satisfy your pleasure complex in your brain, the pleasure complex in your brain. Well, I'm going to get off my soapbox a little bit here, but I do want to encourage you, if you have been watching this channel for a while, if you haven't started to take what you're putting in your body seriously and how it's affecting your mind and how it's affecting your body and consequently how it's affecting your life, what are you waiting for? Today's the only day you got. Tomorrow will never get here and yesterday's already gone. Screw it. Get up and do it. Do something about your health. Be the best you can be. We're counting on you.
If we pay extra, could we maybe get some grease or fat?